partially following over the weekend. There's a lot. Yeah. So let me plug a very well documented list for you guys to take a look at if you're having trouble like following all the stories and shit. This is from Jessie Quill. So make sure you're following her on Twitter. There's the link. And here's her article from Medium about all the documented allegations. Now, as far as like the allegations go, I know that there were some people that you saw on the list, or some people saw on the list that they may have been surprised by. I have had minimum interaction with most of them, and one that I was very surprised to see. Man, I'm fucking upset about it. Mostly because when it comes down to this whole fucking situation, you have a whole lot of people who are abusing their power, and it's fucking pathetic. It's pathetic as fuck, dude. Okay. I don't know what world and what fucking, it's just like the systemic racism thing. You have people who appoint these fucking I'm sorry, I need to pump the brakes before I jump into this, because I'm already getting sweaty. I used all my anger and fuel today for a fucking killer workout, and I still have a lot of anger left over from it. So I come from, and I think I said this best when I first started reading this shit on Sunday. I have a lot of friends. I'm married to a very powerful woman. I have a lot of friends who are powerful women. I have a lot of people in the industry that I'm friends with that are powerful women. And I don't fucking understand how anybody could be surrounded seeing these behaviors, see that shit, call themselves friends, and not call their so-called friends out for the bullshit behavior. There is literal no fucking accountability at all until somebody starts speaking up. And I don't understand how that's just been going on for years. I seriously, like, it is dumbfounding to me that all of this can just exist and people accepted it as part of the industry and did nothing to fucking do anything until now. And unfortunately, it's just like the George Floyd incident, where like you have a terrible thing happening, somebody speaks out against it, and then now we're like, and now we're like just fucking swimming in this shit. Hey, Jappa. Jappa, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. It's embedded in our culture. That's fucked, dude. That's so fucked. It's not permissible. That's what I'm saying, though. All industries, sadly. Yes, it shouldn't be permissible. I don't fucking get it. I don't understand how that when this happens and you report it to HR, there's a big chance that it doesn't go to somewhere else. Like, what the fuck is going on? If you are in HR and you're protecting these people, you should be fucking fired. You're not doing your fucking job. Like, it's the equivalent of professional gaslighting to report something to HR and then they don't find anything in their investigation. We're going to investigate. Shut the fuck up and actually do something. It should be like a 2-strike rule. You're right, Steph. You are right. Jap, I hope you've been well. This fucking sweetie. If you're not following Japamber, she's a goddamn saint. She's so sweet. Yes, you guys have. You women have been swimming in this shit, and it fucking pisses me off. This is a fucking perfect quote. He who controls others may be powerful, but he who mastered himself be mightier still. Lao Tzu. I agree, dude. It's been an emotional weekend. I can only fucking imagine Like, I can't even fathom being a woman and reading story after story after story of fucking rape, sexual harassment, people not believing the stories of your rape or harassment. Like, what the fuck, dude? It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, what the fuck? It's just so crazy to me that that's a thing. That, like, it's not that I didn't know it existed, right? But it's like everybody has a fucking story. And it makes me want to fight people, dude. Like, you have negative spoons? Fuck, dude. Yeah, can we get some hugs in the chat for Brianna? Like, I don't get it. And I think, like, a lot of this has to do with the lack of support that the people who have that privilege, like the male privilege or white male privilege, whatever you want to fucking call it, the privilege of not being harassed their entire life. Like, I don't fucking get how, like, that support isn't just present. And I think maybe it's like a two-way street. Maybe it's because, like, women have gone so long, and again, not an expert. You guys watch the intro. You guys watch the whole fucking intro, right? Not an expert, but I have opinions, right? Yeah, therapy can help, Steph, if you can fucking afford it. Nobody's gonna fucking do that shit, dude. Nobody's gonna pay for therapy. We don't have the money. We don't have the health infrastructure. Fuck, we're finding out we don't even have we don't take care of our people at all, dude. Especially in America. Like, actually fuck yourself is really what that is. Can I prescribe you fuck you? That's literally what you're doing. Jesus Christ, dude. A fucking just doing a COVID test here is $900 in some places if your insurance doesn't cover it. How about fuck you, dude? Jesus Christ. I don't even like, I knew that shit happens, and I know people can get uncomfortable because in my life I've been at parties, I've been at friends' houses, I've been at events where, like, people have come to me and they're like, Steve, this guy is being fucking weird. Can you just come with me? Like, just be with me? I'm like, yeah, I could fucking do that for sure. I'll walk with you. I'll be with you. Like, whatever you need me to do. I'll put my hand on a motherfucker's chest. You know what I mean? And if this happened at TwitchCon in any way, like, to one of my friends, I probably would have gone to, like, I would have gotten arrested. 100%, dude. Like, no, you don't fuck with my friends, especially my, like, really, really close friends, my loved ones, like the treasure people. Like, oh my God, I would fucking destroy a motherfucker if they even tried something. Jesus Christ, dude. Like, at TwitchCon 2, I was almost roofied. Like, I fucking remember that shit. That was fucking wild. I've only been sexually harassed. Well, that's not true. I can recall one moment of sexual harassment, and it was, or sexual assault or whatever. I'm not even taking this seriously because as a dude, I'm like the powerful one in the situation, right? But I had somebody just straight up grab my dick. And, like, in a flirtatious way, but they, like, grabbed my dick. Like, what? That was not okay. You know, like that. And this was, like, a friend, like a mutual friend that had, like, I guess, feelings towards me or some shit. Yeah, I know it counts. It all counts. Yeah. Yeah, but, like, that, I'm talking about it, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm in a position of power regardless. You know what I mean? Like, I have an ability as a man to defend myself, like, physically. So, like, to me, it was just like, what the fuck? Like, I literally was like, what? Like, did you seriously just do that? And I was like, I was kind of quiet for a little bit. I was like, I can't believe that just happened. And then, like, my friends checked in on me who were also friends with this girl. And I was like, she grabbed my dick. Like, she groped me. And they were like, what? Really? I was like, yeah, she fucking groped me. I was like, I'm not hanging out with her or going near her the rest of the night. Like, you need to control your friend. Like, that's fucked, dude. Yeah, Brianna, I know, but, like, it's my fucking responsibility. Like, I can't, I'm fucking fired up about this shit, dude. I want to crack the earth and let every asshole fall onto the inside of that and close it shut. Yeah, Edward was talking about it today too. Edward was just like trying to start stream, and I was like, yo, dude, look at this shit. And he's like, what the fuck, dude? Fuck. This shit was so fucking stupid. It's Monday, my dude. What's up, Jordan? Dude, always good seeing you, man. Fucking hunk, dude. I hope life's going well for you. Always brings a smile on my face to see lovable Big Daddy Jordan in the chat, dude. Can I get just some I'm gonna fucking put some claps in the chat for all the women in here who have like dealt with this shit their entire life and are currently reliving this terrible, terrible fucking thing that's happening, and everybody's sharing stories. Seriously, like fucking y'all fucking rock for dealing with assholes your entire fucking life, dude. Your entire fucking life. Dealing with that shit on a regular basis. I want you to know, if you guys are in this chat and you are at an event and I am there, you find me and you tell me what you need, okay? If you need help, fucking know where I will find you. I will say hello, and if we are in the same vicinity, know that I will be there, okay? I'm not afraid of fucking anybody. I don't give a shit, dude. You guys need to know that you have more than just me there for sure, but like know that if I'm there, I'll fucking do whatever I need to do to help, okay? Whether it's like getting you into an Uber or getting you to your hotel, whatever the fuck it is, like I don't give a shit, dude. I'll be there, okay? If we need to fucking group up, I'm gonna do that shit. I don't understand. I just don't fucking. Yeah, see, Steph's a powerful woman. Y'all powerful ladies. Seriously. Shit's fucking wild. It's true, Edward, though. Edward is very aggressive when he smooches. That man will tear mustaches off. Listen, you guys know that, and you guys saw the intro. Based on what we do in this channel, we have conversations, we take phone calls. If anybody would like to, and this is an open invitation for anybody, if you want to talk about anything that you've seen, or just in general, you don't need to be specific. If you want to talk about just like things you've been dealing with, and it could be vague, it doesn't need to be specific, you can use that tonight, okay? The only thing I can do on my I'm not a smart dude. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I am just a person who is willing to listen. I feel like that's what we've been doing a lot lately. I felt like the last conversation we had was very productive. We had some really great like coming out stories from a few people who decided to call in. And we had I thought some really productive conversation around like Black Lives Matter and the destruction of property and what that means. And I'm willing to talk about anything. There's no subject that is taboo in this chat, okay? Nothing. So if you feel comfortable talking about it, we can do that tonight, or we're playing games. We're going to continue Rogue Legacy because that's a game I can just turn my brain off and take a phone call on. I want you guys to know that, like, I mean, whatever I can do to help you, if I'm physically able to, in the same event or whatever, like, if you know I'm there, just know that I've got your fucking back, whatever it is, okay? I don't know what else to do. I'm so physically frustrated that, like, I am literally like working myself out of anger. I don't know. That sounds great, Steph. And I'm sure you got some fucking crazy stories about like when you were on the rig and shit. No, you're amazing, Christy. You is kind, you is smart. Mandy, you kind, you smart. Trying to think. There you go, Steph. Absolutely beautiful. And you guys are more than welcome to, like, if you guys haven't joined the Discord yet, we've got like a Feelings Are Okay channel. I like to like the Discord. The way I've explained the Discord in general is that it's not my Discord. I've never wanted it to be mine. It's everybody's. We've changed how the channel's been laid out. We've added things, removed things based on how everybody feels about them. We take feedback very seriously in my Discord, because I don't want it to be mine. It shouldn't be mine. That's not what a community is. And I like to think that most of the dialogue that we've had in Discord is very civil, no taboo topics or anything like that. If you want to have a genuine discussion, jump in a voice channel and chat with anybody, that's also available to you as well. You just got to make sure you're in the roles channel when you come in and check the pinned tweet or pinned Discord link. Yeah, the feelings channel is wonderful. I saw Clover BB and Pivotal Juncture talking about like their coming out stories and all that. I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. That shared experience like is so powerful when you see it as somebody who, I mean, I'm a heterosexual white male. I don't know how to fucking say anything else. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't. I'm privileged as fuck, okay, in today's modern society. And seeing all this shit happening to my fellow human beings who, like, I knew this was happening, but, like, at the scale it's happening and the fact that we're in 2020 and there is nothing being proactively done about it, it's all talk and no fucking walking, it pisses me off to no end, dude. Like, I cannot. I've been sitting here raising money for charity, and I could, if I lived in the city or had the ability to get in and out of the city quickly, I could be a part of these protests and physically active and do this shit. And like, I want to I'm very hands-on. Obviously, you guys know this shit. I'm a learner when it comes down to hands-on things. I want to make changes by physically impacting the area around me. And all I can fucking do is talk. And I think that's a powerful tool, especially if I've got people who are willing to converse with me and share their experiences around what's going on. So that's what we primarily do. I want to dissolve the barrier between me and the person who would like to share their experiences, because them sharing their experiences with me allows me to help process and understand their perspective, which in turn gives me their experience through empathy. That's what I want to fucking do. So let's jump into playing Rogue Legacy. If you guys want to call, ! Call in the chat. I'm going to be hanging out in there. It looks like Etward's going to join us in a little bit, and maybe Steph after she's finished with the work she needs to do. If you are unfamiliar with the process, just hit ! Call. You'll see the whole like description of what needs to happen. If you're confused, just let me know. If you don't want to join another Discord, I'm not going to stop you. Just let me know you would like to have a phone call, and then I can call you directly via Discord instead of, you know, having you join the Discord and go through the motions of the ocean. But Jesus Christ, dude. That fucking article, like, if you guys haven't read it yet, it's crazy. I just don't like, there are some people that are on there, like Pro Syndicate is one of those guys where, like, so people are calling, like, they're like rape allegations and all this shit, and I was like, he's a piece of shit. I already knew he was a piece of shit, but the fact that, like, everybody's talking now, like, hopefully things get done about it. It just sucks that it has to wait. You know what I mean? Like, it has to wait for that. I'm too scared to share my story online, but just know I really appreciate everything you say, making me and others feel extremely safe here and anywhere else where we would all be in the same place. Just thank you so much. You're welcome, Christy. That's a heavy burden to really hold on to. I hope that, like, you have some outlet to, like, process that information and actually, like, come to terms with it. The hardest part about trauma, and this is just me speaking from my own personal experiences of, like, my growing up and all that, it's always been very difficult to unpack that without a professional to really, like, let you see those things for what they are. And it takes a long time. It's not something that's done instantaneously after you've talked about it. I know that a lot of this stuff that these stories that are coming out, there's a lot of, is it cathartic? Is that the word? Let me look up the word before I start saying shit. Cathartic. Yeah, cathartic. It's cathartic to share your trauma online in, like, a twit longer. I say words, Steph, you know this. I say words that I don't fully know the meaning of, and I sound like a fucking idiot all the time. Not a professional. You want me to do it again? Not a fucking... I'm not a professional. Not a professional. Yeah, Japamper, yes. Don't doubt myself. No. This is skepticism. Okay? It's not doubt. Doubt is saying I'm a piece of shit. You shouldn't be doing that. Or is that self-deprecation? It's probably both. But yeah. Christy, take your time with that sort of shit, and I hope that you find... I hope you find a way to process it. Grum, what's up, dude?
Me, but professionally and platonically smooch my forehead.
You got it. Mwah! Wait, one more time. Mwah! Platonically smooch your forehead, dude. I fucking got you, dude. Grum, you sweet boy. I hope you're doing well, man. If you're like me, I'm sure you're fucking angry too today. Lots of shit going on online. Lots of good conversations to be had. If you guys want to help the channel too, here's the Twitter for retweeting or liking. I don't care what you do. Any interaction on there, even a comment saying, hey, thanks. You know, like, that's fine. You're welcome, Christy. Sad and pained? Yeah. No. Do your thing, Steph. It's fine. We're going to be streaming for another 2.5 hours or so, so we should be good. Yeah, Steph's right. We normalized a lot of this shit. Sad and pained, yeah. I don't fucking understand. I don't understand. I don't understand why. And also, like, can we just talk about Twitch not literally, like, pulling the plug on a few of these fucking assholes? Like, what is happening? Twitch, if you're listening to me right now, if I got any staff members in the chat, I appreciate the fuck out of what you do. Okay, I've met some of the best friends and had the best conversations. The amount of times that I've stayed up later than intended playing video games with the people that I've met on Twitch, the amount of times that I've had conversations go into the night as if I was having drinks at a bar late at night with like a couple of close friends in a small time like place, or a cup of coffee, whatever real life equivalent you have an obligation for the integrity of your platform to remove those people who abuse their fucking power. And when if somebody comes out and says, I was the VP of Twitch and this shit was happening on a regular basis, and the current CEO laughed it off, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, where is your integrity? You talked about being held accountable, man. How do we hold you accountable? Can we report your own platform for fucking promoting these people that have been abusing their power? Yes, I think people should have a fair trial. Yes, I think like accusations and being skeptical, that's a part of the process of understanding what these stories are. But there's some fucking shit and consistency in these fucking stories that has no question. I don't get it. The only reason, and I mean the only reason why they haven't, has to be legal reasons, even fucking then. Yeah. I don't fucking get it. I don't get it. Ah! Oh, God. I scared myself with that. They don't have to assume innocent until proven guilty. I'm so sweaty from all this shit. Like, I don't fucking... I don't get it. I don't know. It just seems like... I don't know. There's been a lot of allegations. There's been a lot of shit with Twitch. And... this shit, I don't know. It's empty fucking words until actually, like, action is taken. Until action is taken. Like I'm fucking bummed everybody had to go through this shit. And I can never really like, I can't do anything about it. All I can do is talk about it and hear people out, share my own experiences. And that's about it. I honestly wonder if Twitch can be held liable for creating a hostile and toxic workspace. I mean, based on a past allegation, and again, these are allegations, okay? So let me just pull up Twitter really quick so you guys can take a look. Was it Justin Wong? Here he is. Justin Wong, internet. So I was VP at Twitch and I reported this to the relationship owning VP. Okay, the person who owned the VP, the head of HR and the CEO all assured me it would be handled next year. So this is the original tweet here. So we take accusations of sexual harassment and misconduct extremely seriously. We are actively looking into accounts concerning streamers affiliated with Twitch and will work with law enforcement where applicable. We're thankful for the bravery shown by those who have come forward to speak about their experiences, and we are committed to working to make the streaming community safe for everyone. Samantha Wong. So this is the previous tweets. I'm assuming significant other. These are empty words considering you as a company minimized and dismissed my sexual harassment and continued to let the predator attend your events and gave him live segments at A3 on your official channel. I was VP at Twitch when I reported this to the relationship owning VP, the head of HR, and the CEO. All assured me it would be handled. Next year, he was in the same VIP space at the same Twitch event. I was told he was the VP's uncle and an important initiative launch partner. That's fucked up, dude. Excuse me, but if that is happening in your own company, I have a question for you. Why the fuck are you not fired? That's a conflict of interest, you fucking asshole. You're gonna put other people's lives in danger just so you can become a part. Like, what is happening, you guys? I just...
You ever been greased up in a hot tub? It's like swimming in your own beef broth.
21 months, dude.
We have no words, but I love you, homie.
I love you too, Caleb. Greed. That's all it is, Brianna. I mean, it's unfortunately not as uncommon as it should be. I'm glad that you're upset about the situation show. That's the, that's the right reaction. Yes. I mean, we're all upset, dude. But fucking A, dude. Twitch. I'm all about like making the platform better, and Twitch has come a long way in partnering some of my favorite people to help with the whole like Twitch has an integrity problem. But holy shit, did those responses on those tweets really call out some big fucking problems. What's up, Val? Hey. Oh yeah, Val. We're taking phone calls too tonight. So you guys let me know when you're ready. Edward, I saw that you're back in chat. You let me know when you're ready to go and I'll pull you in, okay? Yeah, we're taking phone calls. We're gonna continue to play Rogue Legacy. Because I need something to preoccupy my hands. Otherwise, you guys have seen me. I've taken my hat off. I put it back on. I shake my microphone. I need something to occupy my hands while the conversation's going on. So if you would like me to call you directly, or you want to share any personal experiences or just vent about the situation or talk about what you think Twitch should do to better the platform or whatever, you can enter the call queue. If you would rather have me call you directly instead of joining the Discord, I can do that too. I just want to talk about this shit because, again, like the more we talk about this shit, the better it's going to be for us in the future, because we can't have room. There should be no question on where you stand on this shit. It's wrong, and there needs to be an actionable fucking thing happening. You can't just be like, there's a problem and we stand by you, like they're empty fucking words until action is happening. It took that much for your boss to be like, UI, what the fuck, dude? Well, I mean, Dangerous Aardvark, that's a valid point. You know what I mean? So, like, what do we do? What do we do? I think it's just like for the way I would explain it, the way I think things should be done. I don't know. I would probably talk with Justin Wong and also that person who had and his wife about like who this person was and if they're still at Twitch. Like, get them the fuck out of there. They shouldn't be in there. Harassment tickets seriously too. Do you think if Twitch actually takes some accountability, then maybe gaming companies will start to take harassment tickets seriously too? To fix it, in essence, restructuring of societal structures and name and shame can just lead to better covering up. Well, I normally see them like 3 times a week and it's just a passing by type see them. Oh, got it. Okay. So you're not working around him. I was like, dude, what a fucking heartless asshole. It's like what I was thinking. I was like, Grum, what the fuck, dude? Get a better boss. Let's see. Do you think if Twitch actually takes some accountability? Well, here's the thing. We need fucking names. We need names, and we also need them to remove partners who have like multiple allegations against them. The hard part about all this shit is like, how do you work with law enforcement as a company? You know what I mean? To talk over this shit. That's not Twitch's job. Twitch's job is to handle those allegations and see if they're being handled outside. And it's like, listen, we got to suspend your partnership and you can't stream on our platform because of what's happening. You understand that like we're trying to have an inclusive platform that respects and acknowledges people who are disenfranchised and gives people a voice that otherwise would not. And you are a fucking predator. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. Like, it should be like a sports contract, right? Where this is, again, not an expert. I'm going to keep fucking saying it because there will be people who come into this chat without context and they may, you know, fucking do something or take it out of context and not really understand where I'm coming from. But if it's like a sports contract, my understanding is that it could be suspended at any time for your behavior. And they don't do enough of that. They give passing grades to people who fucking abuse the system or bend the rules that like they've already drawn lines in the sand and they've crossed that multiple times. Yeah, they've banned people for less. The difference is money. How much money are you bringing to our platform? You know what I mean? Yeah, Mixer had a huge racism in the power structure of the platform. And they just closed their doors like within this month. It's more than Twitch and the gaming community, but it would absolutely be a great start. But I don't think it would lead to much. Whenever allegations happen, people aren't always taken seriously and abusers walk away without any repercussions. Right, but Twitch is part of the gaming community. I know it's like we've got just chatting and all this shit now, but like when it comes down to Twitch and the gaming community, they are now synonymous. You know what I mean? We don't have nobody thinks Facebook gaming. Nobody fucking thinks about that. They're like gaming, Twitch. They're right fucking there, dude. They're right there on the same goddamn level. And they can make a big statement by removing anybody who's got enough allegations to be like, listen, you're too hot to touch. Getting angry and loud together. I got Caleb in here already. Caleb, I see that you're in queue. Would it be all right if I pull Grum in since he's got like a time constraint of 30 minutes or so? All right, beautiful. Hey, Grum. How you doing, bud? Hello, Grum? There you go. Hey.
Oh boy. Hi.
Thank you for calling in, dude. I know it's been a rough day for you.
Yeah. No, thanks Caleb for letting me jump you in line for half an hour. I got to give myself half an hour, otherwise I will probably just get violent and like punch something, and I don't want to have to replaster a hole in the wall.
Dude, that was literally me beforehand, and I was like, Edward messaged me after I sent him that medium list, and he's like, dude, this is fucking crazy. I'm like, I know. And we were talking about it, and I started typing in all caps, and I was like, I need to work out or I'm going to grind my teeth into like gum. I was just so fucking angry. So I know what you mean.
Yeah, I had to take a nap just to force myself to just get away from Twitter and the internet for like a couple hours.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's not a car crash, because that's not the analogy I want to make. It's like it's sitting there and reading and listening and reading everything that, you know, people, not just women. It's mainly been women when it comes to the aspect of in it being in the industry. But reading my male friends who felt so empowered by this show of strength from these women to share their story of just sexual harassment and sexual assault and manipulation. And it's like bad people will exist, but like why do like, I just can't understand why bad people who do this type of shit just fucking feel empowered and continue to do it. And like I feel like powerless, because like there's only so much that somebody can do in that situation, and there's even less that I could do in that situation because it's not me, and it's most likely a past thing. But it's still dude, I simultaneously want to hug everybody that like has gone through this, and then also strangle the throats of the people who put them through that.
Yeah.
Like at the same time. That's how big I want to get my arms around people, like in a loving and a violent way. Like it is. And then like for Twitch to be like, yeah, we take this stuff seriously. It's like, since when? When have you ever taken anything seriously other than the fucking money somebody makes you? And like, oh, you fucking lie to people that you do. Don't act like you do. Don't act like you ever did. Don't act like you ever gave a fuck about anything, Twitch. Just don't, because you're full of it. And even when they start to show that they do, like, we can't let them go. We can't be like, oh, good start. No. It's not good enough. That's the response it has to be, because we have to make it clear to them that it's not good enough, because it's because it's too late. I know it's, better late than never. No, but like, no. This is common human decency we're talking about.
It's without question. Like, what are the actions you're taking? And dude, I don't know. Yeah, I agree. It just feels like it's a bunch of empty words and promises, like without any action being taken. And I thought that, there was going to be some good movement when after like this past TwitchCon, when they were talking about updating like the moderation tools and working on like making the platform safer and all this stuff. But like, it seems like instead of getting ahead of everything, they're just being reactive. You know what I mean? Because it's not like affecting their bottom line. Like, in a lot of ways, as streamers, we're dependent on the platform to exist in order to stream, right? So it's like, what are we gonna do? What are you gonna do as a streamer to like stop them from making money?
There's not much. Like, you could say, oh, I'm not accepting any ad or subs.
Right.
and only direct donations. But guess what? You still make ad revenue
Right.
for them. You still drive. They're still able to go and like go to advertisers and say, here are our numbers for streamers of this size,
Right.
and then to basically look at it took how long did it take for affiliates to get CPMs for their ads? It took fucking 2 full years as
Yep.
affiliates to making their money, to where then they go, we'll give you a slice of it. And when you look at it, if you're a streamer that gets about 20 viewers for a 5-hour stream, you get 3 fucking cents for your 5 hours of content.
Yep.
3 cents of the dollar that they make off of you.
I don't know, dude. It seems like a lot of it's been like a facade, like pretty much, you know how like people were making those like brand email, the quote brand email, like, hey, we're a brand and we care about you. You know what I mean? Like, it just seems like Twitch is kind of fulfilling that perspective, like more and more, the more these like issues show up. Cause like they still haven't done anything about like racial names being created on Twitch. They haven't dealt with bans in an appropriate nature, in my opinion, like especially since people who are banned can still view the content that they're banned in or banned from.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, there has been some pretty good strides, I think, but like I don't know, there's so much room, there's so much that needs to happen. It feels like it's all falling on deaf ears and they're not really prioritizing anything, or they don't have like the space to do it. I think maybe, I mean, I don't know. I don't have like a solution for any of this. I think like the hardest part about all of this shit is being so like ban IPs. They actually do that, Brianna, right now for bans. But you can still view the content is the problem. Like if you're banned, you shouldn't be able to view the content within that person's chat. That's my opinion.
Yeah, but then how do they get that ad revenue from that banned person still obviously wants to watch people?
Exactly.
Yeah, and you can just
VPN. Yeah, VPN.
I mean, like, there's always going to be a way to get it worked around to where they can still show up. But like, it's the fucking lack of trying to do it, or even it would be one thing is if Twitch did all this, they banned your IP and they made you unable to view the content of you being banned, because at least they're showing that they're going the lengths that they need to go.
And they're prioritizing safety.
They're not. Yeah. And then it's like, look, we've done everything in our technological ability to get this taken care of. We're trying to come up with other ways to get to block VPNs, but right now we can't.
Right.
And that's they're not even, this is why I say they don't fucking care, and they just never will unless it starts to hit their pocket.
Right. Yeah, that's what I mean. There was a huge thread going on today about like Blackout Wednesday. For everybody who doesn't know, like people are not going to be streaming on Wednesday, and I was like, that's not going to be enough, dude. That's not enough to make a statement.
10 months with my favorite.
It's gonna have to be like a month of revenue or more. And even then, like I don't know how they would address it. The thing that I'm looking for, and what I think Twitch is lacking, and I think everybody's kind of expressed this, is just transparency around what they're doing. And I know that like when it comes down to market share and all that shit, like it's not good to be sharing things you're working on, because it could affect stock numbers and you could be seen like manipulating, I don't know, some bullshit. I don't know. To me, I don't care. To me, like Twitch is a people company, and the fact that like they're not acting as if they're acting more like an Amazon company. You know what I mean? Like I know they're technically part of Amazon, but when it comes down to Twitch, I don't know. It seems like they just have not been acknowledging the fact that there's systemic issues. Like they're not, that the racism username thing is like a big fucking deal. I understand like how some of those things can't get around, but I just don't that I cannot comprehend. Like, seeing a racist username in chat is like a big what the fuck moment. That should be like a permanent ban for anybody going in. Like, you shouldn't be able to have a username that has anything to do, you know, with whatever associated words. I feel like that's as simple as like a database, and then if you're trying to use it, you get, you know, you don't get banned or whatever. It could be like, hey, you shouldn't do that, and then, you know, if it's attempted more than once, then it's like, okay, well, you can't use our service. But you're right. If it doesn't affect their bottom line, they're not gonna like really fuck with it. And with all these like sexual allegations that are naming like specific people that are on the platform, and some of them even fucking partners, it's like, it's the same thing with the Alinity shit. Like, granted, when it comes down to it, Alinity's behavior and sexual misconduct, harassment, and rape are, you know, not fucking permissible or in the same ballpark. But if you are lacking consistency and not being transparent about the decisions you're making, I don't expect you to come forth and be actually, I don't know. It's just like, they seem so proactive about saying something in comparison to actually doing something. And that's my biggest problem with it. I think, like, and that's it, man. This conversation can't stop is the thing. It's just like the Black Lives Matter movement, where like, we understand that this shit is happening, but we also need to know that, like, if we stop talking about it or forget about it because of all the things that are happening in the world, like, it's just going to be cast to the wayside like everything else. And just like, you know, the current state of the world that we're in, like Breonna Taylor's name is no longer trending on Twitter. Like, it's just so much, dude. It's so much to keep track of, man.
Yeah, it's so much at once. And like, Spaceboy had made a tweet about how it's hard to, you know, there's so many, like, getting so mad and trying to decide, you know, how mad to be or to try to be positive about things. And, you know, my natural inclination has always been to find the silver lining in things. And normally it's a positive one. It's, hey, you know, like, hey, look, like, sure, like, you're broke, but you know what? Like, you still have a job, and you have this, and you have this, and be able to appreciate the things, you know, that I have in my life. But, you know, it's hard to do that, looking at everything and being like, yeah, it's going to change for the better, because
Right.
it has to, right? And that's the thing. It's like, it's almost like my silver lining is blind faith that things are going to change without any, like, in general in society, not just not just in the sense of Twitch and the streaming industry and the gaming industry and the wrestling industry and the comedy industry. Like, it's not like, you know, it's an entertainment industry thing and a real life thing. Like, it's not just
you know,
one thing.
Twitch or whatever. It's everywhere. Yeah.
And like, I watched for this past weekend, or this last week or so, of wrestling, you know, the wrestling society basically just go from, you know, a peaceful, like, hey, we're the one thing that's still going amid all this stuff, and, you know, independent shows were starting to come back, you know, independent companies were starting to, like, let people come back for, you know, for shows and run some shows of socially distanced stuff. And, you know, it was supposed to be a good time. And then, you know, people started to speak out, rightfully so, that, you know, their abusers are these particular performers. And it became, you know, a lot of it was in the British wrestling community. And that's where really all of this started. It is weird for me to say this, but without wrestling Twitter, streamer Twitter might still be silent about this, unfortunately, because it got to a point where speak out, the hashtag was like the number 3 worldwide trend on Twitter, talking about, you know,
started on wrestling Twitter.
It started on wrestling Twitter.
Wow.
It was people speaking out about, like, just that particular hashtag. That's the reason why it got trending. It was for me to watch that, and I'm like, this is disgusting. The thing I have enjoyed all my life. And then the next thing out of my mind was, when does it hit Twitch? Because I know it's there too.
Yeah.
And like I said, you know, of the list of the names that were there, I knew of a couple of them. Like I recognized some of the names.
Yeah.
One name I regularly, like I did GTA RP with. And you know, I was like, wow, okay. He's a scumbag. He's an asshole. Get him the fuck out of here. And you know, and he's you know, he's claiming he's going to, you know, leave the space. Good. We don't want you here. We don't want anybody like that as a part of this space. And but it shouldn't take that much. Like why?
No.
Like it shouldn't take 4 different people speaking up on that particular person for that person to go, I can't be part of the space. They should have never been a part of the space. And that's something that, like, those of us, me, you, Konky, others like us who are men in this space have to do a better job of making women in this space feel comfortable enough to talk to us about this and feel like they're going to be listened to and believed, because we haven't done a good enough job of that.
Right.
Haven't, because it wouldn't take other survivors to speak up, to have them, you know, to have others speak up.
I think that's the hardest part, right? It's like you can only be exposed to your perspective like during your lifetime, right? And I think, like, I mean, when it comes down to women and in the industry and all that, like, it's not so long ago that we were also questioning women's role in the workplace, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now we're in this dimensional world where everybody's connected and we're sharing ideas and talking online. And all of this stuff that we're experiencing, and I talked about it a little bit, especially with the Black Lives Matter movement, is we're seeing the clash between old mind and old perspective, between like the new progressive perspective that needs to exist in order for us to progress as human beings. And unfortunately, that perspective, the old one, is so pervasive and prevalent that it's affecting our own generation. You know what I mean? Like, that shit is taught. Those ideas are taught at some point too. Like, that manipulation and all that stuff. Like, I mean, dude, I don't know. That shit is taught. You learn those things either by, like, you know, having success with it and continuing to take advantage of people, or you are so unsuccessful, the only thing you have to go off of is like your position of power. And like many other people before them who abuse their power for their own selfish ideas and stuff, it's a fucking thing that just, like, unfortunately, it's easily seen and copied. And I think, like, I don't know, I want to blame a lot of people who this is weird territory because I don't really know where I'm going with this thought process, but I'm thinking about my life and who I am as a person. And if I didn't have the friends that I did, especially like later in life, who were not afraid to call me out on bullshit and be like, dude, that's really shitty, or talk to me about that stuff, like about talking to me about stuff that was in my past, like when I was in my teens and shit. Like, Jesus Christ. I can think back to when I was a teenager. I'm gonna say like 19 and shit too, where I was, I was never like physically abusive, but I was definitely like, I don't know, selfish in my behaviors is the best way I could explain it. I had relationships that were really toxic. I would play mind games and gaslight and do all that shit because it was like I was afraid of confronting my own behavior, but I didn't have anybody around me to be like, yo, that's fucked up. And I didn't have like a moral compass to assist me because that was not something that I could talk to anybody about. You know, I'm a fucking teenager. So how do you correct those behaviors going on into your late adulthood if you don't have the proper circle of influence to like tell you that's fucked up? I think it's these scenarios, what we're experiencing right now. You have somebody who comes forward and be like, listen, what you did fucked me up. And you need to know that. You need to understand that it wasn't okay for you to be doing these things. I don't know why you thought these were okay. I don't know what gave you permission in your mind to make these things happen, but you understand you fucked up, and you have fucked with me for the rest of my life because of it. Like, that lesson shouldn't need to come to that point. You know what I mean? To me, there needs to be like a circle of accountability and a place for these people to, God damn it. It's just, this is where like, I have a firm belief that people don't just become assholes. There's a lot of ingredients that make an asshole before they become an asshole, become a selfish person. And I don't think there's enough places in our society, enough resources for them to get the help that they need or feel like they do. I just don't. I think we're in a weird place where like human behavior and knowing your mind and what's healthy and what's not is so secondary that people just refuse to address their own issues until they're causing problems for others. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. Like, as you know, somebody who didn't necessarily, like, I had the benefit, and it's gonna sound really weird, of having a deadbeat dad. So I was raised solely by my mother.
Mm-hmm.
And even though she says, you know, like that, you know, like my dad, despite being a deadbeat, never was, you know, he was the type to be the one to check people and check his friends when they started to do things. Like, he grew up and he saw his dad shove his mother's head into a stove and threaten to shut it on her. And like, you know, my mom raised me right to respect. And even all that, there were times that as a teenager, because I didn't know any better, or I thought that was the way to do it because that's how you're supposed to be a man and whatnot. There was, things I did, mentally manipulate and gaslight, just to say, and like it took people similar to you to go, that's not cool. That don't stop. Hey, stop that. And like you, thankfully I had those conversations with people early. Thankfully I had people in my life who looked out for me and wanted me to behave right. But somewhere along the line, the people, a lot of the people that are, speaking out are, people are getting replies of, I'm sorry I didn't do more, because they they knew, or they were, they were made aware at some point. And, and it's like, that's an awkward conversation to have. Sometimes you shouldn't have to have that conversation with your friends, but if you can't have that conversation with your friends, then there's more issues there than just your friend.
Right. Well, you're also talking about people who are enabling the behavior, right? Mm-hmm. Like, if you just stand by silent, like, I think fear plays a big factor in whether or not, like, what's going on. So a lot of these scenarios that we're talking about are positions of power that are abused, right? And it's like, well, I'm in their circle of friends. Like, if I say something, then he's going to, like, not invite me to the next event. And this is the same kind of behavior that makes us mad at Twitch. Yeah. We're like, at the point where, hey, we understand that, but also, what the fuck, guy? You're supposed to be looking out for your group, for your homies, for your tribe. And you're not doing that. So why are you sitting there telling us you're going to do something when you haven't been doing anything at all this entire time? So, like, there's so much conflict and anger regarding, like, this whole scenario that I don't really know how to talk about it other than, like, hey, I understand the perspective, the selfish perspective. I used to be, and everybody in this chat who's heard me talk about it in the past, I probably don't talk about it enough because it was a long time ago, but I've talked about plenty of times where, like, I used to be a fucking asshole, completely unaware of, my actions affecting others. I was abusive towards myself, and I was abusive towards other people, not like physically, but like mentally, whether they were friends or relationship wise too. It was like, I felt like I was right and nobody else mattered, because I thought I was really smart, like, there's a lot of people that are out there like that, and they don't get the hard conversations, reality checks, ego checks in their life that allow them to reframe or submit to those behaviors. And I think, like, what it ultimately comes down to is control. So when it comes down to the abuse of power, from what I understand and what I've read, control is the main priority for anybody who's in that position. And I don't know if those people ever even had a real circle of friends to be like, hey, you're fucking up right now. I think what they were used as is like pawns, or they were used similar to these relationships that are coming to light. So there's a lot of like, I don't know. Again, we don't know the intimacies of this. You guys saw the intro, non-professionals talking about how we feel about this shit.
Sometimes it's better.
There's a lot of gray area that is being like talked about in this. And I think there's multiple factors that bring us to this scenario. But ultimately, what everybody has been saying in the chat too, especially Steph, is that it's been a fucking thing for so long. It's just been accepted. It's money, it's greed, it's power, it's control. I mean, you described one generation away, right? Your dad's parents, that were thinking and acting like that. And that is happening all over. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of like sharing the information and experience and hope that it gets better from here by participating and talking about it and fucking holding people accountable. I just like when it comes down to Twitch, I don't know how to make them accountable. I don't know. I mean, signing a petition, it's a private company. I don't fucking think they have to care about the petition. No. You know what I mean? Like,
they don't have to care, period.
And also, where do we go? You know what I mean? Mixer literally just like had a racism problem. They're like, listen, we're closing down next month. Literally a month from now, it's going to be Facebook gaming. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm not going to go on a Facebook Zoomer gaming and like expect people to have an engaging discussion with me over phone calls. I can't even imagine the people that would call me based on that. You know what I mean? It's free content.
It's. I mean, part of me wants to see that shit show. Like, I'm not gonna lie, just having you having you get called by somebody, you know, and you go, what the fuck is wrong with you? And just hang up on them.
Yeah.
Because like they, you know, but at the same time, like the, you know, like I've had this thought, you know, because I don't need to stream. I enjoy streaming. It's a hobby. It's something for me to, you know, kill time. But in the last, you know, couple months, I've realized, wow, there's a lot of people who listen to me. There's a lot of people who I've affected positive change in their life, where they were that shitty teenager, and I was the one who called them out on their behavior, or not directly, but indirectly, and they listened to what I had to say, and they took that and they applied it to their actual life and changed. And like the minute they told me this, I said, I gotta keep going. Like, I have to keep doing this. And then everything starts to happen. And like, I'm just realizing that if I stop streaming, and yes, there's many more, there are arguably far more people on Twitch that think like me, behave like me, agree with the things that I say, in the sense of, you know, Black Lives Matter, you know, it doesn't matter, you know, like your sexuality is not a choice. You're from birth, your gender identity is not just, you know, a choice. Like, it's not one of these things that's just fun to do. Like, you know, that women should be listened to, believe when they speak up, and they should be empowered, and the people who are, you know, are non-white men should be empowered to do things more and should be featured more than they are currently, and the places around me should be better. Yes, there are more people probably on the platform that do that, you know, that feel all that same way than don't.
Mm-hmm.
But if I were to leave, that's one less voice holding Twitch accountable, one less voice, you know, out there for, you know, people to find and go, oh, this is, I'm welcomed here.
Right.
And I was struggling with that today, of doing the, you know, do I just stop streaming? Do I just stop giving Twitch, you know, revenue?
Right. That's what I was, that's what Edward was talking about today. And I was like, dude, I'm not gonna lie, if Edward quit, I would be so fucking upset. I'd be like, dude, this is like, I know it's super weird to talk about, because like people don't feel like they put enough value into what they're doing, because they're not bringing in like giant numbers. And I think like that eventually will just happen for the people that like have the integrity and the way of speaking that I think is very powerful. And it's just a matter of time and patience. And I think like now more than ever, we need more people on the platform who are speaking out against this shit and talking about these things because of what you just said. Like, how do we increase brand integrity? You know what I mean? Like, what's happening on the brand integrity front for Twitch right now? And right now, things are not looking good. Like, there's a lot of things that have been talked about with people who are partnered on the platform that have rape or sexual harassment or sexual misconduct allegations and stuff like that. If this was a sporting thing, they would be suspended and an investigation would go underway, and then they would be reinstated if they found no wrongdoing, right? But that's not happening because this isn't a sport, you know, like there's no rules for this. Yep. This is not something that Twitch has accounted for. And if they have, it's probably in that long list of an agreement where they decide if they're not going to be doing something with you, you know? And that's about it.
I'd be interested. When I first became an affiliate, I went and I looked at like the affiliate agreement and looked at everything from a financial standpoint because I wanted to know exactly how much money I would be getting, right? Because I'm, 3 years ago as well. I'm 25. I'm smart enough to go, well, I'm not going to just sign anything. I'm not just going to sign anything just so I can make money. How much money am I actually making?
Right.
And, I looked at it and I read it and a lot of it was like, okay, cool. This benefits me because I'm in America. Because a lot of that, goddamn, it is fucked if you were in any other country because they reserve the right to withhold part of your payout. An undetermined amount, by the way, not a clear percentage, just in whatever they feel is, that they're available to do, for currency exchange.
Right.
And that's fucked.
It is.
And that's money. That is something that
they have headquarters in like outside of California.
Mm-hmm. So like it is, and that's just money. I'll probably do it at some point this week because I'm interested to see if there's anything that withholds Twitch from just straight up removing me from the platform for doing to borrow the analogy of using sports teams. A lot of things is conduct detrimental to the team. If Twitch doesn't have something like that, they are fucking stupid.
100%.
They are so fucking stupid as a company to not have that in place. A standard like, yo, we can get rid of you if you are doing shit that puts us at liable for anything.
That harms the
because
brand.
That's what they're like. You are fucking stupid if you don't include that in a contract with as many regular people as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody here, like, I guarantee you 97% of people who are affiliates and partners did not look at their fucking agreements. They just fucking signed it and said, yes, I would like to make money creating content.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You could have thrown in.
I was one of those people for sure.
Like you could throw in.
I'll do it.
Like you could have thrown in something like, for all we know, they put stuff in the contracts to sign away IPs. I know they didn't, but they could have, and the majority of people wouldn't have found out until somebody said, "Hey, by the way, guys, you're signing a thing that gives away your." Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But yeah, I gotta go.
It's okay.
Thank you, bud.
You're welcome. I hope this helped a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's good to know that I have friends who will also keep friends in line when they fuck up and they do shit like this, and we'll make it clear to them that they fucked up.
Oh yeah.
It's good. You're good people, Konky. I know I've said this before, but I'm glad to call you a friend.
Same, Graham. The feeling's mutual.
Good to know that like I'm not alone in the. Like what the fuck? Like I need like what can I do? Why do I consistently feel powerless in this? But I want to do everything I fucking can, just in spite of that. So
well, a lot of that, I mean, like, and I don't want to keep you on too much longer, but a lot of that is you work very, very much with your hands. You know what I mean? You physically like. I feel like you and me are very similar in that regard. Like we learn by physically doing something or like interacting with it in some physical way. And the fact that like you have to just sit there and listen is the hardest fucking thing to do, because you want to feel like you can do something, like you want to physically get up and do some shit. So my suggestion, so you don't grind your teeth down into just gums, dude, just pick up something, like get some workout in, just don't hurt yourself. You know what I mean? Like I need you to get some physical output in there, because at least channeling that anger into like some sort of physical activity will greatly help you reduce not only the like I need to fucking do something feeling, but also just make you feel like you are doing something by physically moving your own body, and it'll let you be productively angry. We're not so much where like your thoughts are all over the place. You'll be too exhausted for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I fucked up some shrubbery today at work. All right, so that's where I ended up putting most of my focus. But yeah. Again, thank you, Caleb, for letting me take you jump ahead of you there. The floor is yours. I yield my time.
I love you, Grum. Have a good night.
Love you, bud.